Law. That's why you always log. I was like, I can tank this heavy stun. I can tank this heavy stun. There's nothing on my screen but some trash monsters. I can tank this heavy stun. I couldn't tank the heavy stun. It's remarkable how fast you die when you're stunned, though. It was the same thing on Roa last patch. I'm like, we're chilling. We're chilling. It's just some garbage. I'm full HP. I even potted at least once during it. The phone's not even close. Like, if you ever get heavy stunned, it's always insta-log. But I was like, I don't need to. I don't need to. I don't want to do it again. I almost didn't log back in today. Just like, it was almost a full free show. That was the 250 damage of the Burks brand. Yeah, the whole like, small hits don't heavy stun you was always a lie. That was never real. It was so funny how many people were like, oh, but he said, while showing 3 clips where he didn't hit a single time. Like, it was, that was, they told us what house front was gonna work. We knew it was gonna heavy stun you if you got hit. Yeah, you just have to always log it if you want to survive. Oh my god, it's here. It's here, but wait, I can also shield charge. Ah! Ah! Let's fucking go. I wouldn't say PoE 2 is as shit as before, it's better. But it's not better by enough for me to really care. Like, the campaign experience is way fucking better. It's genuinely 5 times better. Because Abyss actually gives you loot in the campaign. And not having to do Cruel is great. I love that. But the end game is just kind of still the same as point 2 for the most part. Except crafting is a little bit improved, but still towers, still just the same kind of Atlas thing, and still the same like really non-engaging, like boring combat that is the thing that I think is probably never going to it's never going to be what I want it to be for combat, I don't think. But it's getting better, one patch at a time. Give it 2 more years. What I consider to be engaging, the main thing is like fast-paced combat where I am using a variety of different buttons, like basically 2 full fucking skill bars of buttons, based on what is happening on my screen and where I need to go, and what the monsters are doing. And obviously eventually you reach like the hyper end game, where the only like engaging part of the combat in PoE 1 is your mobility skills and your attack skill, and the rest of it becomes less important once you're like days and days into your character and you're strong as fuck. But the thing that is the most engaging part of Path of Exile 1 is how you move. And sprint, even though it's a fucking clunky dog shit version of like mobility, is definitely a step in the right direction for PoE 2 to improve that. But like that epiphany hit me super hard when I was doing a Valdo map that disabled travel skills and gave you 50% less movement speed. And when I was clearing that map in PoE 1, I was like, holy shit, this feels like PoE 2. Like, that's all it took was 50% less movement speed, remove travel skills, and then instantly it just felt like PoE 2. You walk around doing nothing but walking, and you right click. And that's really like the thing that stands out is like how you move. When you move with like multiple different travel skills, it just makes all of the monotony of traveling around a map so much more engaging compared to like WASD right click. Now crafting in PoE 2 is actually like probably the biggest improvement this patch in PoE 2 is crafting. Like the Abyss stuff, the new essences, I didn't even get to the point of actually getting to use a lot of perfect transmutes and whatnot in PoE 2, but the crafting and like tier items dropping properly and being filterable, like the crafting is substantially better this patch. Like the Abyss shit is so strong. A full redesign of the end game, holy! I wouldn't count on that. I know a few people want that. I wouldn't count on it happening. I do like that the map mods have been changed to be, you know, a little bit less feast or famine in terms of how much reward you get for a certain waystone when you count on it. I feel like the whole like exploring the Atlas system is something that seems to be pretty passionate about that. I don't think the current system is like hopeless and has to be scrapped or anything. Some people fucking hate it. I think it's important that the shittiest map layouts, like when you have less control over the layouts you're running, the floor of the layouts needs to be higher. Like in a game like PoE 1, it's okay for there to be some layouts that are fucking vile, because like you have control over what you run. But if you don't have any control, like there shouldn't be any Myers, you know? Like, Mire shouldn't exist when you don't have control over what you're running. But most of the new map layouts that I ran, like, felt good. Like, they weren't all Savannah, but, like, they weren't making me mad or anything. We're getting into zones that have their own flair, mountain regen, lake regen. Yeah, that is one thing that they probably, if they do want to keep the system, should expand on a bit, is making the different biomes actually feel meaningfully different. I don't think the current system was ever meant to be a placeholder. I think that was just PR speak. I think that was just kind of like hyperbole when talking about how little time they had to spend on this, like on the end game. But like, it's also the same thing I said back at point 1, like that just didn't really feel like a placeholder. And with how much time they've spent into improving it, and like continuing to add more and more things to discover within the Atlas, it really doesn't feel like one to me. Yeah, more like it's a skeleton of what they want, and it's not at the fully fleshed out vision yet, but like it is definitely the foundation of what they're aiming for. And I don't necessarily hate that. Like, I see a world where it's possible that the whole expedition thing can feel good to play. It definitely didn't in point 1. And in point 2, there wasn't much actual exploring that mattered. On the bright side, a lot of the skill balance changes, a lot of the changes and improvements to skill balance that the game needs are buffs to like really shit skills and archetypes. And those can happen mid-league. Like, they've said they don't want to do the mid-league nerfs, so like, you know, bows and crossbows probably not going to get nerfed, but a lot of the like real garbage shit could be getting some buffs in the next few weeks. I don't know. I'm not really not gonna feel too strongly about anything in that game one way or the other, probably until 1.0 comes out and we can get past the it's beta memes. I'll log in whenever there's a desire to log in, kill some monsters.